Scottish politics is definitely left to Westminster. It's closer to the left than Westminster is. But it's not entirely socialist as yet. Could you see Scottish politics sliding closer to your socialist dream? Or could you see, as someone suggested, the rise of the Tories in independent Scotland? Like a resurgent right or a resurgent left? What would you think would happen?
What's your first name, Paul?
David.
David, thanks for your question. Good to see young people at the meetings again. That's been a feature of all the meetings I've done, is the amount of young people coming. You know, just as a wee aside, 16 and 17-year-olds have been enfranchised for this referendum, and a lot of people attack that. Oh, you know, people are too young, they don't know what they're talking about. I'll tell you what, I've spoken to a lot of 16 and 17-year-olds who know more than 16 and 70-year-olds, by the way, and are more interested sometimes as well. So let's not cast aside the young people. Young people are as interested as you make them. They're as interested as you inspire them. And the interesting thing for me is, about the 16 and 17-year-olds who have registered to vote, 75% of them have registered to vote so far. 75%. No interested. By the way, see if they're even going to vote, no. Fair play, that's fine. But they're interested enough to register to vote. There's no going back as far as I'm concerned. If they can vote in referendums, why can they not vote in general elections? If they're old enough to pay taxes and join armies and have families and get married, they're old enough to vote as far as I'm concerned. In relation to that point, David, no crystal ball here. We don't know what the future holds in relation to the development of politics in Scotland. What we do know categorically, Scottish Parliament was formed on the back of what was known as the Scottish Constitutional Convention. The Scottish Constitutional Convention came together in the mid-90s, and it was designed to produce a parliament of consensus politics. It was designed to produce coalition governments. That's what it was designed to do. And if you look at 1999, 2003, 2007, that's what it did. It produced coalition governments. What happened in 2011 is the rule book was ripped up, because what happened wasn't supposed to happen. The SNP won a majority of the whole country. And I've got to say to you, and I make this point to people on the left of politics who should know better, who should know damn better when it comes to this question. Some of them attack the SNP and they call them tartan Tories. Tell you what, that was alright in 79 if you wanted. It's just lazy rhetoric now, because it's totally without foundation. Because the SNP of 2007 and 2011 that won the Scottish election is the SNP that stood against private finance initiative, stood against the privatisation of the health service, stood against the Iraq war, stood for the nuclear disarmament. In other words, the SNP of 2007-2011 stood in the political programme that the Labour Party used to stand on. What's happened is the Labour Party has abandoned its political clothing, and the SNP is now wearing it. That's the reality. The truth is, in an independent Scotland, the one political party, ironically, that stands to gain most from independence is the Labour Party. Because once the Labour Party is free from the shackles of the Westminster Village, that is all about Middle England, it's not about Scotland, it's not about poverty, it's about Middle England. Once they've got rid of those shackles, the Scottish Labour Party can go back to its roots of the Keir Hardys and the Jimmy Maxtons, and it can stand for working class people, and it can stand for socialism. I think in my heart of hearts, David, Scotland is a left of centre country. Scotland has the potential to develop an economy that's based on providing for social need, not feeding private greed. That's the difference here in Scotland. We've got the opportunity to do that. And as I say, in terms of my closing remarks to each and every one of you, and I thank you for coming along and giving me your time, and I apologise for starting late, but I'll tell you this, I hope, in my heart of hearts, I hope that you have taken from tonight, if you were undecided, I hope you're decided. If you're a no voter, I hope you're swallowing. And if you're a yes voter, I hope you're going to become an ambassador, a crusader. Because if you convince one other person to vote yes, we're going to win. That's all it's going to take. If every yes voter here and now persuades one other yes voter, we are going to win. You know, there's an old saying that says, don't let those who say it can't be done get in the way of those that are doing it. Brothers and sisters, let's transform this country. Let's make it a better, more progressive country to live in. Let's vote for an independent Scotland. Thanks very much.